Honorable Mr. First Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, today for the 49th time we are celebrating the Indian Independence Day as gracefully as ever. The story of freedom was told by our grandparents to our parents, and from them it's being told to us. We too are learning about the sacrifices which our elders made in the process of achieving freedom. After the Indian independence, we are the fourth generation in the past 5 decades. Today, for those freedom fighters, for their will and sacrifices which were offered by them and their families, we, the fourth generation, salute them. Now a song will be played.
जी देव जी दोस्तों देखिए आवाज पे कंट्रोल करो जरा पहली बारी अजियो ना अखियां ने तकिया दूजी हटके आके खाए मारी सकती पहली बारी अजियो ना पहली बारी अजियो ना अखियां ने तकिया दूजी हटके आके खाए मारी सकती पहली बार असला तो दिल मेरा तेरा ही दीवाना सी असला तो दिल मेरा तेरा ही दीवाना सी असला तो दिल मेरा तेरा ही दीवाना सी तेरे बाजू में लिए दुनिया दीवाना सी मिल गई दुनिया मेरा सरदार सिया तेरा करके आगे आए मार सकते पहली बार चुन्नी गाए पल्ला जरा दुनिया के लेके चुन्नी गाए पल्ला जरा दुनिया के लेके झूठी मूर्ति है किसी सोची हंस दे तेरा चोरा चोरी कर दिया मार सकते पहली बार तेरी जदों भी मैं तेरे प्यार दी सोने तेरे प्यार दी सोने रब मैनू भुल जावे रब मैनू भुल जावे वांज मैं तेनू आई भुल जा वांज मैं तेनू तंदूरी लाई हुई मामा जी तंदूरी न हो कभी वक्त भी न हो जब तेरी याद आवे जब तेरी याद आवे पहला पल पल हो मैं भाई बैठा पल पल हो तेरी जदों भी मैं गीत कोई कहना सौ तेरी जदों भी मैं गीत कोई कहना बहरियो दी तेरी सोनी टोर बोलो नैना शायरी दलमा टंग मैं बसिया हाय मारी सत्या पहली बारी पलकां दे तिखे सिरे नैना उत्ते पाके पलकां दे तिखे सिरे नैना उत्ते पाके एक बारी वेख मैनू तेरी शर्मा फुल दाने मजा तेरी दीदवारा तकिया हाय मारी सत्या हाय मारी सत्या पहली बारी आना अखियां ने तकिया तेरा तकिया हाय मारी सत्या पहली बारी
Tonight, on the day sacred in the Guru in the month of Thai, that they might witness his wondrous dance. The 8 spheres of the universe trembled. Adi Sesha, upon whose head rested the world, swayed in fear and shook the earth. The storm-tossed waters of the Ganga, fountains gushed forth. Then the assembled devas chanted praise to the Lord, and Gopala Krishna sang with joy in his heart. Ornamented with hooded serpents, the hair of Shiva swayed as he danced, and his dance brought the world to salvation.
India's ambassador in Denmark, ladies and gentlemen. During our holidays in Denmark and Scandinavian countries, I have felt very privileged alongside with my wife and 2 children to have had this opportunity of sharing with you the celebration of India's Independence Day today. We have heard some very fine speeches and many expressions of India's culture and music by our young children. And above all, we have felt very one with you today in a common purpose and in a common destiny, and also share the excitement of being Indians living abroad. We have felt so because we are also Indians like you. The only difference is that you live in Denmark and we live in England. Mrs. Neelam Deyo said that the Indian community in Denmark is a very small community, but as you may also know that we have a very large community in England. There are nearly 1 million people of Indian origin in England. Most of you probably have been to England and you already know this. And we also know that in our times Indian people have gone to many other countries also. And before us too, Indian people have gone to the Far East, Singapore and Malaysia, Hong Kong, East Africa, West Africa, Caribbean islands and so on. But wherever we have gone, we have retained, even after very many generations, just like the young people were saying a few minutes ago, we have retained a sense of being Indians. That magical but very indefinable identity that we've all retained after very many generations of living abroad. And as you can see, for the future, the young people who have been performing today, they are the inheritors of that tradition. We also have the privilege of attending the function at the embassy some days ago, where Mrs. Neelam Deyo unfurled the Indian flag. And I listened very carefully to the presidential address that she read. And I must say that I was very impressed by the upbeat message of the presidential address to the nation, despite the very many difficulties that India has gone through in the recent past. In particular, I was impressed by the analysis of the president about the way Indian elections have been held recently and the way India has effected a very mature transfer of power to a coalition government. That is a hope for the future, and it does show that when we are being watched by the world, when the world really waits to see what India does exonerate itself with very great dignity. And I thought that it's worth reminding ourselves that some of the achievements that India has achieved in the past 50 years are really something that we can be proud of. In particular, I want to remind ourselves today, because this is the day when we pledge ourselves to those principles again. We have inherited a great civilization in ancient terms, but in modern times too, we can also be proud that our forefathers, when they achieved independence for us, they pledged themselves to a secular democracy, and that is something to be proud of. Many countries built their systems upon religious grounds, but our forefathers chose to build Indian democracy on secular grounds. We also pledged ourselves to social justice, and in international terms, we pledged ourselves to universal peace. And as you know, on a day like this, not only we need to share our happiness, but we also need to reflect that what needs to be done yet. And you'll agree with me that there are a lot of things that we need to do for the future before we can say that we have achieved social justice for all Indian people, and that we have played a whole part in achieving universal peace in the world. But I feel that if we keep to the principles that our forefathers gave to us, we cannot go wrong. Once again, thanks very much for this privilege you have afforded to us, and we have enjoyed the occasion of today with you all. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.